ಶ್ರೀ ಮಂಜುನಾಥಾಯ ನಮಃ. JSS ಅಂಗಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾದ JSS RS ಹುಕ್ಕೇರಿಕರ್ ಕಲಾ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾಗಿರಿ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಇದರ ಧರ್ಮಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರ ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ವೀರೇಂದ್ರ ಹೆಗ್ಗಡೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನ ವಜ್ರಕುಮಾರ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾಗಿರಿ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಇವರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಸ್ಕರಿಸಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಹಿರಿಯರಾದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಜಿತ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ SMI UGPG ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಾಲರಾದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಜಿತ್ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಾದಂಥ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಭಾರತಿ ಶಾನ್ಭಾಗ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಇಂದಿನ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಗೊಳಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ PUC. ಮೈಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಶ್ರೀ SS ಪಾಟೀಲ್, ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಇಂದಿನಿಂದ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ PUC ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಗೊಳಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಗತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಭಯ ಪಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನೀವು ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳು SSLC ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀರ. ಈಗ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲೋ ಅಥವಾ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪಲ್ಲೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತೊಗೋತೀವಿ. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಒಮ್ಮೆಗಳೇ ನಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಭಯ ಪಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ನೀವು SLCಯಲ್ಲಿ 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸೈನ್ಸನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರ. ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ನು 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು, ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿನೂ 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು, ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ 100, ಇವನ್ ಬಯಾಲಜಿನೂ ಸಹಿತ 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 70 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು ಥಿಯರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಇನ್ನುಳಿದ 30 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ರೋಟರಿನ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಲ್ಲಿ ಎಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮನ್ನು ಕಂಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ 30 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ 70 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಥಿಯರಿ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 70 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಥಿಯರಿ, 30 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್. ಈ ಥರ ನಾವು 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದೇ ಥರ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸಲ್ಲೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಯಾಲಜಿಯಲ್ಲೂ 70+30, ಬಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ 100 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ 9 ಜನ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇವನ್ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ತರಗತಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಥರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಅವನ್ನ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. ಈ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ SLC ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಟಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಆ ಥರ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವು ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ SSLCಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕಲ್ತಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಲಿಂಕನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ PUCಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಕಲಿತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Good morning students, I am Vinaya Joshi and I am belonging to Department of Chemistry. So today I am going to tell you bridge course in chemistry. So let us begin the bridge course so that you can understand the remaining chapters clearly. So I am going to tell you some definitions, basic concepts and some laws and some different say the concepts in the chemistry. So let us begin with what is science. Science is a systematic study of the surrounding world, natural and physical, through observation and experiment. So that is called as science. So since we are learning chemistry, so let us see what is the definition for chemistry. Chemistry is the branch of science which deals with the study of composition, behavior and the properties of the matter. So what is chemistry? Chemistry is the study of the composition, properties and behavior of matter. That is called as chemistry. Now chemistry is divided into 3 main branches. First one is organic chemistry. Second branch is inorganic chemistry. and the third branch is physical chemistry. So now we'll learn one by one what are these three different branches of chemistry. Let us first see what is organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the carbon compounds and their derivatives. Then inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry is a branch of chemistry which deals with the inorganic compounds, study of inorganic compounds. So what is organic compounds? Organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry which deals with the study of organic compounds, which are carbon compounds and their derivatives. And inorganic chemistry is branch of chemistry which deals with the study of inorganic compounds. Let us see now the physical chemistry definition. So it is a branch of chemistry which deals with the composition and the properties of the matter with reference to their physical laws or the laws of physics applicable to the chemical system. That is called as physical chemistry. So we are going to learn in PUC first year all these three different branches of chemistry by different teachers. Now let us go to the main concepts in chemistry. That is, let us begin with what is matter. So you have learned matter in your lower standards. You know what is the definition of matter. It is a very important aspect to know what is matter. Matter is anything that has volume and which can occupy space. So anything which has mass, volume and which can occupy space is called as matter. Now matter can be classified into variety of ways. You can classify matter into two different ways. The first way is physical classification and the second way is chemical classification. So there are two ways you can classify a matter, physically and chemically. The physical classification of the matter also you have learnt in your lower sections. So maybe in 8th or 9th standard. So the physical classification of the matter, we do it as solids, solid matters, second liquids or liquid matter, and third one is gas or gaseous matter. So these three are the physical classification of the matter. Now let us learn one by one these physical classification of the matter. First one, solids. Solids are those matter which have definite shape and definite volume, and they have the particles arranged in a very regular and compact fashion so that they have a definite shape. So these such substances are called as solids. Example, wood, glass, sorry, not the glass, of course, wood, and then you have the different things made up of woods, tables, chairs, then the chalk, the board, the stones, all these are the solids. So now the next one is the liquids. So you have learned about the liquids also. So liquid is that matter in which the particles are loosely arranged and therefore they have definite volume but no shape. And when you pour them in any container, they will take the shape of the container. So that is the property of a liquid, that the intermolecular distances is very more, is high, and therefore the particles are far away from one another in liquids. Now the examples of the liquids, you can take water or milk or any liquid thing which you see around you. Now the gases. Gases are those matters in which the intermolecular distance is very large, so that the molecules are very far from one another, and therefore they do not have any fixed volume nor they have the fixed shape. So they do not have any fixed shape nor any fixed volume. Such type of matter is called as gas. They are highly compressible and they are highly expandable also, and these two features are very important properties of a gas. So you can see that physically matter can be classified into three main types: solids, liquids and gases. Now let us see the chemical classification of the matter. the chemical classification can be done in two ways. First one is called pure substance, and the second type of the chemical classification is mixture. Mixtures. So let us see now one by one what is pure substance and what is mixture. These two also you have learnt in your lower sections. So let us see one by one what are pure substances and what are mixtures. The first chemical classification is pure substance. Let us see the definition for the pure substance. They are the matter which cannot be separated into the other kinds of matter, and they have a fixed composition. Such substances are called as pure substances. Now let us see the other classification of the pure substance. It can be classified into two, that is elements and compounds. Elements. First, the elements. What are elements? These are the simplest kind of the matter which consists of only one kind of atoms in it. So, elements are made up of one kind of atoms. For example, if you say copper, it is made up of only copper atoms. If you say it is iron, then it is made up of only iron atoms. And if you take aluminium, it is made up of only aluminium atoms. So this way the elements are made up of only one kind of the atoms. Elements can be further classified into metals, non-metals and semi-metals. Let us see some example for metals. Copper, iron, aluminium. Then gold, silver, etc. Then the examples for non-metals: hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, oxygen, etc. And for the examples for the semi-metals: silicon, germanium. These are the examples. So elements can be further classified into metals, non-metals and semi-metals. We will learn about all these types of the elements in the different chapters in PUC first year. Now let us go for the another classification of the pure substance, that is the compound. Compound is that matter in which it is made up of two or more elements. So it is a combination of two or more elements, and the compounds can be further broken down into simpler kind of the matter. It can be decomposed by chemical methods. So when two or more elements combine chemically, they form compounds, and it can be broken down, decomposed chemically into simpler matters. And this decomposition usually takes place during a chemical reaction. So let us see some of the examples for compounds. So you have come across NaCl, which is nothing but the salt. Then you have sugar, which is nothing but C6H12O6. It is called C11H22O11. That is called as a sugar. Then glucose, that is C6H12O6. So these are the different types of the compounds which are both organic and inorganic. So basically organic and inorganic compounds are the two classification of the compounds. Compounds can be classified into organic and inorganic. This is an inorganic example. Sugar, glucose, etc. are the organic examples. So again we are going to learn about these different types of the compounds in different chapters. The second classification is the mixtures. So let us see what are mixtures. It is the combination of two or more elements or compounds in any proportion. Just like in pure substance there is a fixed composition, in mixtures there is no fixed composition, and the compounds or the elements can combine in any proportion. So that is the difference between the pure substance and the mixture. The another aspect of the mixture is the constituents of the mixture can be separated by physical or chemical methods. Then constituents do not combine chemically, and therefore they do not lose their identity. they retain their identity, and therefore they have the property of that they do not combine chemically. Now the examples for the mixtures are sea water, milk, glass, lime water, etc. Now let us see the classification of the mixture. Mixture can be further classified into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. So before I give you the definition of these two, let us see the example. In homogeneous mixture, you have salt solution, sugar solution, etc. That is, when you take a spoon of salt or sugar and mix it in water, the components, that is the sugar and the water, they mix homogeneously and they cannot be seen separately. Such a mixture is called as homogeneous. Another type of the mixture is the heterogeneous mixture, in which the constituents are seen separately, can be visible, and therefore they can be separated also. Example, salt and sand, salt plus sand, or sugar plus salt. So in this type of the mixture, the constituents are seen separately, can be separated, and hence they form the heterogeneous mixtures. Now let us go for another very basic concept in the chemistry, that is what is an atom. Let us see what is an atom. Atom is the smallest constituent of a matter, which may exist independently or which may not exist independently. For example, copper. Copper is an atom which has an independent existence, whereas hydrogen is also an atom. The element hydrogen has the hydrogen atoms, but they do not have an independent existence. They exist in a diatomic form. So in this way, the atom may or may not have an independent existence. Now let us see the various properties associated with the atom. The first one is atomic number. Now before I explain what is atomic number, let me tell you that the atom can be further divided into its constituent particles, and these particles, as you all know, are electrons, neutrons and protons. Protons and neutrons, they are inside the nucleus, whereas electrons revolve around the nucleus in a circular orbits. Now electrons are negatively charged, whereas the protons are positively charged, and neutrons are electrically neutral. They do not carry any charge. Now because the protons and the protons and the electrons are equal in number in an atom, that is, in an atom, in any atom whichever you take, the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons, and therefore their charges cancel each other, and hence atom is electrically neutral. Atom is electrically neutral. Why? Because in all atoms, number of electrons is equal to number of protons. Electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged, and therefore they cancel each other's charges, and hence the atom is electrically neutral. Now let us see one by one what is atomic number, what is atomic mass. These two are very important concepts in the chemistry, which we need to learn about the atom. Now an atomic number is denoted by the letter Z, and the number of atomic number is the number of electrons or protons present in an atom. So if you know what is the number of electrons or what is number of protons in an atom, then that is nothing but its atomic number Z. Now similarly, let us see what is atomic mass. Atomic mass, which is also called mass number. And it is denoted by the letter A. And what is mass number or atomic mass? It is the total of the protons and neutrons present in the nucleus. It is the total number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus of an atom. Nucleus of an atom. So if you know how many protons and how many neutrons are there, you can add them together and get the mass number or atomic mass. Now let us see how to represent an element along with its atomic number and atomic mass. Let us see the representation of an element. So imagine that an element is X. If X is an element, then its atomic mass is denoted on the left hand side uppermost corner of the element, and if Z is the atomic number, then it is denoted at the lowermost left corner of the element. So this is how a element is represented. Let me give you some example for this. Let us take hydrogen. Hydrogen is having the symbol H and its atomic mass is 1. So therefore we have to put a 1 here, and its atomic number is also 1. So H is denoted as H11. Similarly, helium. Helium has a symbol He and its atomic mass is 4, and it is written at the topmost. And then the atomic number is 2, and it is written in the downside of the element. Then similarly, aluminium. Atomic mass is 27 and atomic number is 30. So this is how any element can be represented by this way. Now let us see the isotopes. What are isotopes and what are isobars? Let us see what are isotopes and isobars. Isotopes are those elements which are having same atomic number but different atomic masses. These are called isotopes. Example, the hydrogen has 3 isotopes. One is called protium, in which the atomic number is 1, atomic mass is 1. The second one is deuterium, in which atomic number is same 1, but the atomic mass is 2. Then the third isotope is tritium, in which the atomic number is 1 and the atomic mass is 3. Now let us see what are isobars. Elements with the same atomic mass but different atomic numbers are called isobars. Let us see an example here. Argon, potassium, calcium. All of them have same atomic mass, that is 40, but they have different atomic numbers 18, 19 and 20. So these three come under the isobars category. Thank you.